I'm back in Bali. I've locked in a 180-day visa. I did an insurance run to Australia and I'm now looking for 6 months worth of accommodation here in Sanur. Stick with me and I'll show you how you can do it too. Think staying in Bali long term is complicated? Not anymore. In this episode we'll break down the simple process of getting that 180-day visa. I'll show you how I slashed my insurance costs. I'll take you along as I search for the perfect place to live for the next 6 months, and I'll also go through the process of getting the QR codes for health, for customs declaration and the tourist tax. Well, I can't believe after a full day's travel I'm finally in Bali and it's given me this in the morning. It's 9 o'clock, I'm going to have a look around and see what's changed. But if you want to make Bali your travel base or you just want to do an extended stay, stick around because I'm going to show you the process. Well, it's going to be a crazy day today. It's not a visa run, it's an insurance run. We're in Phuket, it's 2 p.m. We're going to fly out, we're going to head to Perth, arrive in Perth around 9:30 p.m. and then from there we're going to have about a 5-hour layover and then a flight from Perth to Bali. All to save $600 and we're going to show you how. So here's the fine print. I'm not an insurance agent, so check with your insurer to make sure if you can get the 6 months, if you can get 3 months, but read that fine print in the PDF just to make sure, because once again, I'm not the insurer. Sometimes we don't know where we're going to be next week, let alone in 6 months' time. And the insurers, what they want is a ticket back to Australia that validates your insurance. So that's the reason why we are going with the trip to Perth. Otherwise we'd use Genki, that's our go-to when we're travelling from place to place and we're not going back to Australia. So normally we use, and I would recommend, Genki insurance if you need insurance when you don't have that return ticket back to Australia. It works fantastic for us, the prices are competitive, and we've found that it does that gap for us when we can't get insurance from major insurers when we haven't got a return ticket back to Australia. So our Australian bank does give us 6 months insurance, but the catch is we have to use it for flights and accommodation, and we also have to have a return flight back to Australia. So here's the maths. Our insurance would have cost us $2,170 if we had 6 months staying in Bali with Genki or any other insurer. So what we've done, we're doing a flight, as you can see here. I'm not in Perth, I'm currently in Phuket, and we're going to fly from Phuket to Perth to set off our insurance because our insurer through our Australian bank credit card says we have to leave from Australia and return to Australia in 6 months. So we're going to head off to Perth from Phuket and then do a quick turnaround, 3-hour wait in Perth airport, and then we're going to head straight back to Bali. That flight from Phuket to Perth and then back to Bali has cost us just over $1,500. So the math says that we're going to save this little line down here about $670. So if you're going to do this from Australia, just going direct to Australia, 6 months in Bali, then back to Australia, you're going to save $2,170 straight off the bat. But as I said at the beginning, you do need to check with your bank to make sure your bank and your credit card does cover that 6 month period, because it may just be 3 or it could be none at all, but do that check because you're going to save a hell of a lot of money.
The seatbelt sign is still switched on. Remain seated. Once it's turned off, please engage the management.
Yeah. Well, it's 12:30 in the morning. I'm at Perth Airport. There's not much else happening here. There's not many people here yet. I've got a 3:25 a.m. connection to Denpasar, which I'll get in about 7 a.m. I'm starting to wonder if I'm crazy, but I'm saving $600. I'm also starting to wonder if I'm a little bit lazy because I did get my C1 visa, the 60-day visa that's extendable to 180 days. I use Bali visa agents to have that or to get that done. It did cost $215, so there's the normal $100 for the visa, and then there's a $115 service fee there, which is embassy fee, taxes, and their commission. It makes it a lot easier for me, but you could go there and do it yourself. For me, I'm saving time. I don't have to go line up at the embassy. I sent it to them. I got it back within 3 days, although they do say a 7-day return. I got it back in 3 days. The correspondence was fantastic, and I do know that a couple of days out before my first 60 days is over, I just need to give them a quick email, send them some more dollars, and they'll process the next part. I can do that twice, up to 180 days. So what I'll do at the end of this video, I will show you the paperwork that I sent through, what was required. I'll also go through what was required for the tourist tax and for the health declaration, and there was another piece of paperwork which I forget at the moment, but I've got a QR code for that as well. I think it was a health check. There's a health check, there's the customs declaration, and there's also the tourist tax. So that's the 3 things that you need when you get to Bali with your return ticket as well. So at the end of this video, I'll go through all that. But right now, I think I'm going to put my head down and see if I can get about 2 hours sleep before I get onto that flight. So what I'll do, I'll leave a link in the description below for both Genki Insurance if you want that short-term insurance, and also for the Bali Visa agency. So you can give them an email, have a conversation and see if they can help you. I get nothing from that. I'm just giving you the correct link, same as the links I'll have in the description are the correct links for the visas and also the embassy. So you don't have to go searching for all the scammers and the fake ones. The real ones are down below in the links. So there's BNI there. I would use that. So as soon as you come out of immigration, you'll come across the BRI, the Mandiri, the BNI, all of the ATMs, which are the good ones on the street, so you can get some money straight from there. So Lynn's just going to take out about 5 million, that'll get us started, and she's using the Wise card for that. We recommend the Wise card, it's always great for those transactions, keeps your money safe, and we just transfer straight across from our main account in Australia to our Wise account. As you walk out, you're going to start to see transport, you're going to see Telkomsel, Axiata, all of the SIM card providers. You can get your SIM card done here, or you can, as we do, use an eSIM and have it ready. Mine's already activated and started as soon as I got off the plane. Thank you. So you've got Axiata, you've got Telkomsel, all your eSIM, all your eSIM prices. There you go there. But as I said, we use an eSIM. We can get it before you leave. I'll leave a link in the description and it'll activate before you even get off the plane. The last place you go through before you exit the terminal, there's a small cafe, and then you go through WH Smith where you can pick up water or any of those little items you may have forgotten on your trip. Tell me that you're doing fine. Last 2 things before you get to transport, Johnny Rockets, and you've also got Starbucks if you need a coffee for getting off that plane. You might want to sit there, recuperate, rest before you do the taxi challenge. It's a bit quiet here this morning. It's not like it is usually of an afternoon from the Sydney flights when you come here and there's a couple of thousand drivers. So as you walk out, you'll find all the drivers across the road, and you'll also see the signs for Gojek and Grab. And another little trick a lot of people use is they head up this escalator just behind Starbucks, takes you up to the departures, and from the departures, if you're lucky enough, you can get into a Bluebird. Once you get to the transport area, you can find your driver, you can negotiate with drivers, or follow the Gojek and Grab signs down to their lounges. The Grab and Gojek procedure is a little bit different. Order your vehicle and then check in with the lounge. So we got straight out of the airport. What did it take? About 5 minutes, I think, and we had a Gojek, really quick service. So we got out of immigration in about 45 minutes, and we've got straight to Gojek. It's open from 8 a.m. to 2 a.m. You just head down, follow the signs, wait at the lounge, and we've got our Gojek to Sanur for just on 20 Australian. Not much traffic in the morning. I was just saying it's a lot different coming in on the morning Perth flight than it is on the Sydney flight. A lot less hectic. So first impressions of Bali. The place is absolutely buzzing. 9 a.m. in the morning, there's people jogging down the paths, on bikes, going for a swim. The weather, it's been raining for the last 4 months, but I think that's over because this is absolutely glorious. I can't wait to have a look around, see what's new, see what's been built. I've heard down south some of the restaurants have been pulled down to make way for a park. We'll have a look at that later in the week, but I just want to get in, have a look at Bali, have a look at Sanur, get into some food and see what's changed. Last time I was on the Sanur beach walk, it had a quiet charm. It wasn't overrun, there wasn't a lot of people. Right now, there's a lot of people jogging of a morning, there's a lot of bikes, but it still has that perfect Sanur quality that makes, to me, in my opinion, I love coming to Sanur. It is my home base, but it's just, I think, one of the best beach walks you get, not only in Bali, but probably across Asia. It's a really nice walk. It's got the restaurants on the beach. I've just been to Thailand, a lot of those aren't on the beach. Here, perfect. You get to sit on the beach, you get to have a meal, you get to have a drink, and you get to enjoy the simplicity of what is Sanur. One thing I have noticed coming straight back from Vietnam, the air quality in Bali. Way better than Hanoi, Ho Chi Minh City, even Da Nang. On the other side, the water quality is a lot worse. Beaches in Thailand, beaches on the east coast of Vietnam, way better than the rubbish that you see floating in the ones in Indonesia. It's unfortunate, but the air quality is a big plus. 9 months ago when I left Bali, the luxury residence that was being constructed next to the mall had stopped. There was a lot of conversation about why. There's still not much going on in there. Be interested to know, has it stopped? Has it stalled? Is it going to go ahead? If you're local and you know what's happening there, drop a comment. Be interested to know what's happening there and is it still going ahead? Well, I'll head in there later this week, but it appears that the Icon Bali is still going strong. A lot of people in there, a lot of locals in there, which is good to see. We'll have a look at that later in the week. While this weather's perfect, I might just keep heading on down the beach, see what else has changed. One of the big things you forget, I think it's mainly because I've been on a plane for 22 hours, I haven't slept, but the heat, the humidity, the sweat, it's back. I'm back in Bali and I know I'm back in Bali. If I had to sum up Sanur in 3 words, what would I say? I think it's relaxed, I think it's evolving, and I think I'll use home base. I really love Sanur. I can't wait to have a bigger look at it, but also I'm looking forward to the rest of Bali for that 180 days. If you've got somewhere different, somewhere in that next 180 days you think that I should go, let me know in the comments and I'm sure that I'll jot it down. I've got a bit of time and hopefully I'll get to have a look at it. I think it's always good to try and see something different in Bali. It's a small island, but it's got a lot packed into it if you really go out there and look. Like a lot of people coming to Bali, I've got a smartphone. And if you're doing an extended stay for greater than 60 days, the government does have a regulation that you need to pay 10% of the current value of that smartphone. I'd prefer not to do that. I'd also prefer not to go through the hassle at the airport of getting a physical SIM card. So what I do, I use Air Allo. I arrive, it's set for Bali, it activates as soon as the plane lands, and I've got instant coverage in Bali. I'll leave a link in the description so you can have a look at that. Also later on, I'll take you down to Coco Supermarket in Sanur and we can look at how you can just get the physical one set up and do it in slow time when you're ready. One of the best things I find about Bali is you can just walk around, local kids here fishing, you see ceremony, there's always something happening in the background. You don't have to pay for it, it's not like an amusement park, it's just always there, you just need to look for it. Have I mentioned it's great to be back? One of the best things that hasn't changed here at Sanur is down at Sindhu. You've got the little markets, the beer stalls, the food stalls. You can come down here, you can buy a beer for 30,000 rupiah, sit on the beach and watch the sunset, or just relax all day, totally up to you. But it's one of the most unspoilt, best places of Sanur. We might get there later this afternoon. So I thought I'd end this episode by going through the visa process, the QR code for the customs declaration, the health declaration, and also the last one, the tourist tax. So what I'll do, I've just got the slides here and I'll post the slides up here and I'll just talk through them as we go, and hopefully it'll explain the process of what you need to do your own. The immigration one's a little bit harder. I'm just going to do the 30-day one, which you can extend to 60. Anything bigger than that, I really think you need to have a visa agent because you will need that sponsor. And if you can't do that process by yourself online, you're not going to be able to do the going to the immigration and all that stuff. So I'm just going to stick with the stock standard 30-day visa on arrival, and then we'll leave that one as it is. And then the three other ones will just go through the forms so you can see in advance what you need to go to before you actually log in and click. I'll also down the bottom give the official website addresses, and I'll put them in the descriptions down below as well. So you're not going to those scam ones, you're going to the real and official sites. So let's get started. The visa, this is what it looks like to start with. That's mine, I've blanked out all my details. And what you'll find is that this is a shot of the official e-visa website for Indonesia. And on it up the top, you've got the little yellow button that you just click that to start the apply process. From there, you've got a couple of quick questions. Nationality, it's a drop-down box. I've just chosen Australia. And then the second one there is the main purpose of your visit, which, depending on what you're doing, you've got general, family or social, investment, golden visa. I'm just going to assume on this one that it's a general tourist visa for holiday purposes. The next question on there is the sub-purpose of your visit to Indonesia, whether you're visiting somebody or a tourist visa. Just do the drop-down box and you'll see tourism, family, visit and transit. After that, there's a box there, which is probably the main one you have to concentrate on, and that is the type of visa that you're after. You've got the B1, which is the tourism visa, visa on arrival. The C1, which is the single entry. I will say single entry, you can't come back and forth. It's one entry only, but that can be extended twice, which gives you that 180-day visa. That's the one that I'm on at the moment. And then you've also got the D1 visa there as well, and the D1, well, there's a D1 2-year and a D1 5-year visa. I'm not going to go into those ones because I really believe you need a visa agent to get them done properly. You can pick any one of your choice. I've recommended one, but have a look online. There's a multitude out there. Once you've picked that B1 visa for visa on arrival, it'll have another drop down. It's got 30 days as a drop down. There are no other choices. It's a 30-day only, extendable once. And it's a type of visa which is the B1. I've also just given a quick screenshot of what the C1 looks like if you did want to go down that route by yourself. And it's got C1 and you're planning to stay 60 days. When you go into the login of that, it will ask you for sponsorship details, etc. That's why I'm not going any further with that one. So after you click on that detail and login button, the first thing you'll see is a full screen of all the information. It says it's a 30-day visa. It's got the cost there at 500,000 rupiah, which is $50 Australian. It's got what you can do on that visa. It's got what you must comply with, laws and regulations, etc. And it's also got some other information there that you just need to read through before you hit that apply button. So on the next page, the first thing with the application it's going to ask you for is a copy of your passport. So you're going to want to have a scan or a photo ready so that you can download that onto the application. Also, you're going to need a passport photo that you can download as well. Now, you don't need to go into a photo shop these days. You can just stand up against a plain wall and have a shot done for you. It's got all the details there of exactly how it needs to be. I've done them myself on my phone. They go through quite easily these days. It's not as exact as what it used to be, but it does have to be a clear photo, no hat, no glasses, no smile, the usual things for a passport photo, but just do it against your own living bedroom. Just have good lighting, no shadows, and a plain plain background. So after that, there's a shot where it shows that it's paid for by credit card. There's no other way to do it online. And then it goes into the section where you start to need all your details. So the next part you get to is all your personal information. So it's going to ask you questions like name, date of birth, place of birth, and then it's going to go through documentation. So you're going to want things like your passport number, your nationality, the date of expiry of your passport, and the issuing place of your passport. All those details you'll find on the front page of your passport. It's a strange one that they actually ask you for all the details of your passport and then actually ask you for a physical copy of that passport. So the next bit it's going to ask you, which feels a little bit hard to find, it's the accommodation details and the address. So you've made a booking. On that booking, there's normally the address of where the hotel is, but you also need the postcode and things like that. What I've found, it's very easy just to go on Google, look up the hotel, and like the description here now, you'll find that it gives the postcode. Once you put the postcode in, it populates all the other information. The next page you're going to do is a couple more downloads. You need to download a copy of that front page of your passport and also a copy of your return ticket. One of the laws of when you come to Indonesia is you need a return ticket back to your country of origin or an onward ticket to another country. So you will need to have a copy of that so you can put onto this form when you are applying for the visa. So that's pretty much it. The next box is a declaration that you've signed everything and everything you've done is yours and it's all legit. And it's just got a little tick box down the bottom there that you need to tick and then press save. And that will save your application and it will come back to you with a batch number and a visa application number that you can either do a screenshot of or just jot those numbers down in case you need it when you log back in later. And you're only going to log back in just to see how your visa application's going. It's been 3 days, 4 days. It'll actually update and say where it's being processed at that time. Once that's all done, you're all happy with that, press the submit button. Or there is another add other because you can do multiple visas. So if you want to do your partners or your spouse or your children, then that's where you do that add other button there, the orange button. Do that before you submit. Get them all done at the same time and then submit at the end. You can also do them individually, one by one, but you may as well get them all done at one hit. So once you hit that submit button, you'll then come up to the credit card details page, put in your credit card details, press submit. You'll get a receipt back through email that says you've paid, and then you'll also get another email that says that you're in the process, and then it's just a 7-day wait to get that visa back from immigration, which will come back through the email that you've provided in all the application details. For me, it's a pretty simple process. Sometimes it can be a little bit clunky. I've heard people say that it hasn't gone through for them, but when it works, it is an easy process. But if it's something that you don't want to do, just remember that you can always pay someone to do the visa process for you, and you will get it back pretty quickly, and you'll know that it all gets done correct as well. So the next one is the tourist tax, and it's so much easier to do it online 3 or 4 days before you head off, so you can just smoothly go through immigration and make that a quick trip through. You've got all your QR codes, you just go scan, 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 there's no line up, it's a very quick process. So on the first page, really simple. Top right hand corner, it's got an English bar. You can change that there for different languages. It wants your arrival date, your passport number, your full name and your email address. Real simple, that's all that's required on that one. The second page, it has the payment section. So once you've made that credit card payment, you'll get 2 receipts. You'll get on your screen a payment success. Mine shows 300,000 Indonesian rupiah because I paid for 2 people, 150,000 each or 15 Australian dollars. You'll also receive an email and a screenshot of the QR code. I try to take a photo of that on my phone so that when I'm going through, I've just got a screenshot on my phone that I can just get scanned. And I also keep one in my emails just in case I can't get Wi-Fi or there's something wrong with my phone when I get there. But there it is there. It's just a QR code. As you go through, you just scan it and it shows that you've paid. The other one that you do need, but when I went through the terminal, I didn't have to show it, but it is in the system, so you do have to do it, is the health declaration. That you're not bringing in any diseases, that you're healthy, etc., etc. I think it's a bit of a hangover from COVID days, but it is still a requirement. So here's the web address here where you just go on. Your airlines will also send you the health QR code application and also the customs declaration form. So click onto it, it's just got enter here, and you'll get a few questions. Are you arriving by air, by bus, by rail, etc.? And then it's just got the usual details, flight number, your name, when you're arriving, etc., etc., as per the form in front of you. And then it's just got some quick health related questions and a captcha code down the bottom that you need to fill in. Once you've done that, there's no cost and you'll instantly get back a QR code, do a screenshot of it, take a photo if it's on your laptop or print one out so that when you go through, if it is required, you can show it straight away. So this feels like a long finish to this episode, but this is the last one. This is the customs declaration form. It's another easy one. It basically says how many bags you're bringing into the country. And then it's got a normal 8 questions, basically on what you're bringing in. Are you bringing in weapons, narcotics, alcohol, all those type of things. Tick the boxes that apply to you. The next page is also the IMEI page, which is the one if you want to declare your phone and pay that 10% value if you're staying for longer than 60 days. For this short visa, you're only going to be there a maximum of 60 days, 30-day visa on arrival with a 30-day extension. So just put no there and click through. Once you've done that, you'll get a declaration just to do the tick box to say that you've filled it in and all the information's correct. And then straight away, you'll also get that QR code. It's the last thing you'll do. The customs official will scan your QR code. You're on your way, you're out of the airport, and you're about to enjoy your holiday. Hope that all made sense. If you've got any questions, leave it in the comments. But once again, things with visa that can be quite technical, I do suggest that you do contact a visa agent if you do have some technical questions, just so your holiday doesn't get wrecked and everything goes to plan. I'll see you in the next episode.